Good evening. It's my pleasure to welcome you to Haddonfield Memorial High School commencement ceremony for the class of 2021, a class that has excelled in all areas: academics, the arts, athletics, character, and charity. Our program tonight begins with the singing of the national anthem. Please stand. Please be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce the Salutatorian for the class of 2021, Alexander Joseph Brave Roseman. Please welcome Alexander, who will invite us to the stage in the graduation ceremony.
Hello, and welcome everyone to graduation for the Haddonfield Memorial High School class of 2021. I'd like to start off with a few quick thank yous. First, a big thanks to all of the teachers, as well as the coaches, counselors, administrators, and all the other school staff who've helped make this event and our whole 4 years here at the high school possible. And specifically for the teachers, and especially the teachers that I've had during my 4 years here, I just want to say quickly thank you so much for taking an interest in your students and caring about us and the material and trying to keep things interesting and not super stressful. It really does make a difference. Thank you. Also, I'd like to thank all of the parents, without whom we would not be here today. Thank you for everything you teach us and put into our lives, and also for giving us the space we need to make mistakes and grow. And finally, I'd like to thank all of my fellow graduates. We've really grown so much over our time together. And that's actually a nice segue into the main thrust of my speech tonight. So I was originally a little nervous about being asked to give this speech for all the usual reasons, but also because I hadn't really been an HMHS student for most of senior year. I had left in March of 2020 because of COVID, and I hadn't come back until under a month ago, near the end of May. So, you know, what can I say about HMHS? I've been off attending Zoom University. But then I thought about it a little more, and about these past few weeks, and how different they've been from the rest of my year online. And in thinking about that, it kind of hit for me just how important and really special the community here at the high school is. You know, when I was thinking about coming back, I knew that I wanted to come back, because of course I did. Online school was pretty miserable, and I knew I had liked school before, but I couldn't quite remember why. And now, having returned, I think a lot of that specialness a lot of that why is in the bonds that we form with each other. Even just things like saying hi to people in the hallways or commiserating about homework or whatever it is, it really does make a difference, and you don't realize just how much until it's gone. If I think about the best parts of my time at HMHS and what I got out of my 4 years here, it's not my diploma, it's not my grades, it's not some tennis trophy, mostly because I'm not very good at tennis, but that's beside the point. But no, it's our little corner in junior year English, it's the shared pain of our first BBQ, it's the tennis team dinners or the nervousness on the bus before debate. It's the community, it's the relationships, it's the connections that make me excited to go to school each day. And my little example for this year is Spanish class. I get back to school after being out for over a year, and immediately it's like, Alex, hola, ¿cómo estás? Venga, venga, we're taking this picture to send to the celebrity from Made in Mexico because someone DM'd one and they actually responded. And then the next day people are running out of class to rescue this injured bird, and there's just this sense of community and togetherness and fun that's really nice, and that I don't think I got the importance of until I had lost it for a while. And so, looking towards the future, I think I'd like to encourage everyone here to try and hang on to some of these connections that we've forged over the past 4 or 7 or 13 years. I know a lot of us are heading away off to college or wherever else, and this transition is a good time to embrace change and shed those perceptions that people have of you that can be so powerful in a small town like this one. But just seeing everyone here and thinking of all the fond memories I have of everyone, and you multiply that by 200 something, I think there's a lot of value here, a lot worth hanging on to, even as we move into this next stage of our lives. So yeah, try and keep in touch. It's worth more than we might think. Thank you.
Now it is my pleasure to introduce Selena Louise Picone and Christopher Lewis Domidio, President of the Class of 2021, who will speak on to their colleagues, faculty, administration, parents, and the community.
First of all, I would like to thank all the administrators, Ms. Shortone, Coach Q, Ms. Brucey, and everyone that made this night possible. I would also like to thank all the families and friends who came out tonight and throughout our time at the high school to support us. 13 years ago, I started school at Lizzie Haddon. Never could I have imagined to be as special as it was. What made it so great wasn't the classes I took, the sports I played, the clubs I joined. What made these past 13 years so special was this class and the people that I got to spend every day with. Now being a senior in high school, I would do anything to go back to relive some of the fun memories, like when me and my friends would all rush to the Lizzie Fall Fair to play the Guess Again as many times as we could, or go win a goldfish that our parents didn't know about until we brought it home later. Then you'd get them to get you a fish tank just for the same fish to die the next week. Fast forward to middle school, when everyone treated the volleyball tournament like it was the Olympic Games, wearing a ton of eye black, unnecessary accessories, just for our 8th grade homeroom of Kozak to lose to the 7th graders. School at Haddonfield is home to so many awesome moments I'd love to go back to, but the connection our class had wasn't just limited to school. Our class has been connected through sports and many other activities in the community as well. Some of these moments I will remember for the rest of my life as some of the most fun times. Like back in 1st grade during coach pitch on the Maroon team. We were a self-proclaimed undefeated team that year. And in our last game that we won, we were out in the field celebrating that we just won the World Series. And in the middle of it all, Sean Gilbert happened to accidentally knock Nuts' tooth out. It's the moments like these that I'll miss most about this group. The little things we did together were the most memorable. I'll miss sitting at lunch with my friends talking about stories from 8 years ago, which next year I won't have the opportunity to do. For the most part, we've been together since kindergarten, and these memories will stick with me through college and the rest of my life. I wish everyone in the class of 2021 the best, as I know that this class is destined for great things. Thank you, and here's Selena Kishore.
Thanks, Chris. And thank you also to my friends and family for being here today. The class of 2021 is special in so many ways, and I think the word that best describes our grade is resilient. Our high school experience has been a unique one. I look at my freshman brother Evan, and I'm reminded of when we first started high school as little freshmen, and we entered into a construction zone. We didn't have a cafeteria or a stadium, and I think we all have a special connection to the spot we ate lunch that year. I look back fondly at the memories I made eating lunch on the stairwell next to the auditorium. You can't say you were part of the class of 2021 if you didn't get yelled at least once for eating somewhere you weren't supposed to, especially in the library by Mr. Stafford. Then our sophomore year, we got the cafeteria and the stadium back, and we had a successful Spirit Week run. Our hallway theme, South Vegas, was definitely one for the books, even though we got second. We definitely deserved first, but we're not still bitter over that. However, our junior year, we avenged the hallway decorating competition, getting first for our Dr. Seuss themed hallway. I'll never forget when my friends Alexa, Ari, and I bought a fish for the Cat in the Hat section. I'll also never forget when Danny Cabana dressed up as a cat in the hat, or when Andy Busey dressed up as the Lorax. Also, in our junior year, the pandemic hit, and we persevered through all virtual learning, and for the greater part of our senior year, hybrid learning. Our class has never known normal, and we've proven time and time again that we are resilient and can handle and overcome any challenge we're faced with. For our Spirit Month video, we chose the song "We're All in This Together" from High School Musical, a message that helped us throughout the year and still rings true today. Despite our unusual high school experience, we have led and created countless clubs, including my favorite, Bracelets for Change, donated money to Kids Alley, Graying Boots Education, and the National Brain Tumor Society. We've excelled in sports, academics, and overall as a class, we've handled challenges with grace and excelled even when it might have been easier to give up. I look forward to the day when I see the names of members of the class of 2021 in scientific research, in Broadway lights, on presidential ballots, as author of best-selling novels, and anywhere else the world takes us. I have no doubt that each and every one of us will be successful in whatever path we choose. This Sunday, I opened a fortune cookie, and it said something that I think really works for what's next for our class. It reads, "Never fear, the end of something marks the start of something new." Although our time at the high school is ending, the future is so bright for us, and I'm excited to see all that we accomplished. At this point of massive change in our lives, I always think of the quote by Winnie the Pooh. We didn't know we were making memories, we just knew we were having fun. Class of 2021, it's been so fun, and I'm so proud of us. Thank you for the memories, and here's to making a million more. Thank you.
At this time, Mr. Tyler Mills and the HMHS Concert Choir will perform "How I Can Keep From Singing." Thank you, Mr. Mills, and the choir, that was awesome. Valedictorian for the class of 2021 is Olivia Grace Stoner. I present to you Olivia, who will provide a valedictorian address.
Good evening and welcome, families, teachers, administrators, and the esteemed class of 2021. It is an honor to be speaking before you all today. I would like to begin by saying a few personal thank yous. To my parents and family, I could never extend enough gratitude to you for your support and sacrifices. I love you all beyond words. Thank you. And I would next like to thank God for his blessings and provision always. All glory to him. Lastly, I would like to thank our administration and staff for this incredible commencement ceremony. Mrs. McHale, Mr. Tarrant, Coach Q, and Mr. Licata, among others, you have worked tirelessly this past year to bring our senior class a sense of normalcy. Who would have thought mere months ago that this magnitude of a graduation would be feasible? I speak for everyone when I say thank you for your creativity, patience, and foresight in a year like no other. Now, I would like to extend my congratulations to you all, class of 2021. High school has truly been 4 years to remember. I have nothing but the utmost respect for all of you for your strength, endurance, and grace. Without going into detail, I think it's safe to say that Clint Eastwood's famous improvise, adapt, and overcome quote could very well have been the mantra of our senior class. Looking out at all of you, I cannot help but reminisce. I remember the days back in elementary school when we all stealthily traded silly bands and fought against the infamous title of Man on Ground on the playground. I remember belting the Lizzie Haddon anthem together in the APR and comparing Justice graphic tees with each other during indoor recess. A few days ago, I had a similar feeling of nostalgia while cleaning out my old room. Among the dusty HYBA participation trophies and old race bibs was a toy that reminded me of quite the formative phase of my life and perhaps of many of the people here. The American Girl doll. Now, this particular toy and phase of my life were certainly memorable, as these dolls were my creative outlet. Through them, I could present tales of princesses, Spartans, and scholars, all on my makeshift bedroom desk stage. I could learn how to sew costumes and braid hair, albeit on a much smaller, doll-sized scale. However, the conclusion of this toy obsession is an even more vibrant memory for me. One day, after pulling my dogs out to play, something just felt off. I no longer experienced the rush of excitement that usually ensued. In fact, I did not feel nothing at all, other than the urge to put my dolls back and go do something else. Frustrated by my inability to care for these dolls that had once been such an integral part of my life, I began to cry. I cried for the end of my American Girl doll experience and for how much money I had wasted on those unreasonably priced doll accessories. But even more so, I cried out of my fear of growing up. I thought that outgrowing this phase meant that I was slowly inching towards adulthood. To me, adulthood was a large and confusing word that most closely meant the end of my childlike sense of wonder. I thought growing up and nurturing my creative interests were mutually exclusive, and I was grieving the loss of something that had brought me so much joy. What I offer to you, class of 2021, is the perspective I wish I had at 7 years old, going through that American Girl doll existential crisis. What I did not anticipate was that after I put my dolls down, I soon picked up a needle and thread, making human-sized clothes this time rather than the former doll-sized ones. My imagination kept its fervor, but it took on a different, much more exciting form. Yes, today marks the end of quite the formative phase for all of us. Tomorrow we will wake up as high school graduates, anticipating jobs, higher education, traveling, or other endeavors. We will no longer call this school's campus our home. But the exciting news is that our imaginations and passions do not end here. Rather, we now get the opportunity to take them out onto a larger stage. We get to play with bigger, better, and far cooler toys, and do so for a far larger audience than we could have possibly imagined in our childhood bedrooms. Though I no longer play with dolls, I look forward to employing the same creativity I use to design clothes and costumes to someday design prosthetic limbs. Perhaps the same rush you got while playing Minecraft can be used to code the next generation's video game experience. You may no longer decorate the hallways for Spirit Week, but perhaps you will thrive as an interior designer in a few years' time. The same care you extended to freshmen as a peer leader can someday reach thousands of patients as a nurse or doctor. Class of 2021, throughout our years here in Haddonfield, we have found the things that we get most excited about. We know the topics that light up our eyes in conversations, the activities we lose track of time while doing, the interests we could spend hours down a YouTube rabbit hole to learn more about. So, although this day is sobering, marking the end of this formative phase, I am so excited for each of us to explore our interests on a larger scale. Perhaps this will later be your job, or maybe it just manifests as a side hobby. But either way, I implore you all to keep exploring the things that spark joy, keeping that childlike sense of wonder and imagination alive. My wish for each of you is that you continue to reach bigger and better stages, but always remember to bring your inner child along for the ride. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Thank you, Olivia. Our two most prestigious awards are recognized at this time. The J&T Children Award is named after a Haddonfield clergyman. The award is based on scholarship and class leadership and is determined by a vote of the senior class and faculty. The winner of the J&T Children Award is Makai Elijah Rippey. Please stand and be recognized. Congratulations, you guys. Susan Bloom was a member of the class of 1964 who passed away shortly after graduation. This memorial award recognizes the senior girl who has demonstrated concern for the welfare of others, honesty, emotional maturity, and lack of prejudice. This award is presented to Katrina Grace Edwards. I'd like to thank you all for coming out tonight. It is a beautiful night. We couldn't ask for better weather. One stress we didn't have to worry about. I want to thank the parents for all you've done throughout the year. Your flexibility, gratitude, and understanding have been greatly appreciated. Thank you. Excuse me. This class is very special to me. We started high school together, and I've enjoyed watching you mature and grow. At the senior luncheon, I read a book about Kiki's blanket and how the blanket gave Kiki courage to be brave. Although you were given a blanket yesterday, I know that bravery and courage is within each and every one of you. You proved it throughout the last 4 years and give me hope for a brighter future. This class overcame a pandemic, adjusted to new learning styles, and truly made the best of a difficult situation. I look out at all the graduates and see future leaders, humanitarians, and most importantly, kind and caring young adults who will help to shape the future of our world. I absolutely cannot wait to hear about and see the incredible adults that you will become. Our divided world could learn a lesson or two from this class with your thoughtfulness and compassion. You are preparing for a future you never anticipated and are doing it with grace, determination, and bravery. I'm so proud of this class and know you will leave your mark in whatever is next for you. I want you to look around at your classmates. This is the last time you will be with them at a school function. Now, I'm not going to lie, I will miss you, but I will not miss seeing your smiley eyes taking temperatures every morning. Besides masks, Google meetings, and temperature checks, take a moment to think of your years here. Every speech that we heard tonight is about the memories and bonds that you all have made. Think of the plays or musicals, the sporting events or the team dinners, prom, dances, and Spirit Week. These events bonded you, and while you are on your next journey, Think of these people and this place from time to time, because you will always be a part of this school and our family. Mr. Klaus, I present to you the Haddonfield Memorial High School Class of 2021. As principal, I am certifying to you that this class completed all New Jersey statutory requirements for successful completion of high school in the state of New Jersey. If you please confer graduation on these seniors.
Thank you, Mrs. McHale. Congratulations to you, Mr. Tarrant, Mr. Licata, and the excellent teaching staff here for assisting this class to grow. Congratulations to parents, and thank you for all the support you have given to our proud graduates gathered here today. They know they could not have been here without your support. Members of the class of 2021, you have led the way by being role models for underclassmen, by making a difference in the lives of many through your philanthropy and altruism. We wish you all happiness, good health, and drive to continue to make a difference. It certainly gives me great pleasure to welcome the graduates, family, friends, staff, and Board of Education members to the commencement ceremonies of the Haddonfield Memorial Class of 2021. I cannot express how happy I am to be here with all of you together in person to celebrate. I cannot express how happy I am to be able to be here with all of you in person together to celebrate. Over the last 16 months, we've seen many changes and been striving to get back to normal. But we know we can never go back. The very essence of who we are as human beings compels us to move forward. It compels us to learn from opportunities. It compels us to drive forward as opposed to return to what once were. The Haddonfield Memorial High School Class of 2020 embodies this thinking. They are the ideal group to help us move forward. Principal McHale, summarizing this group, stated they are a class of action. A group that sees, hears, understands, but most importantly, acts. Now, sitting before you, hardened by the circumstances of global pandemic, is a class who has continued to persevere and grow while doing so. It never once lost the qualities, passion and kindness that helps define who they are. Their changes, their improvements, their drive, and the example they set forth by this class lays a foundation for future classes to come. This class has started and is leaving behind a thriving peer bias club. They have reinvented traditional events into new thoughtful versions for changing times, many of which will not return to the former version. They have continued levels of fundraising and community service at times when many others have elected not to do so. All benefit from the work they did. And this comes as no surprise when you look at the accomplishments of these 205 students. As a collective, Haddonfield Memorial High School was ranked 874th in the nation and 39th in the state of New Jersey by U.S. News. As a STEM school, HMHS was ranked 179th in the nation. Individually amongst us, we have 110 National Honor Society members, 99 Newmuller scholars who have achieved a 4-year GPA of an A+, 40 students who completed the Seal of Biliteracy, 9 National Merit Commended Scholars, and 2 National Merit Finalists. Earlier this month, at the senior award ceremony, this class was awarded $350,000 in local scholarships, a number that will grow to $518,000 once calculating the 4-year renewable awards. But the class of 21 did not stop with academics. Rather, they displayed universal success. They demonstrated tremendous growth and perseverance in all areas. We watched as the arts continued to shine. Over the past 4 years, the Drama Club took us from the Brothers Grimm to Reno for Sisters Act, weaved the way through the streets of New York City with West Side Story, and finally ended up as a part of Vaudeville Circuit in Gypsy. Future trivia question for all of us. The final Haddonfield School District event before the shutdown March Madness was the closing night of Hello Dolly. I am not implying a cause and effect in that part of that, no. The Madrigals continued their brilliant work, which culminated in the drive-in movie version of the annual dessert theater. The Haddonfield Memorial's choral department held its first live performance over a year recently. The Haddonfield Marching Band performed a student-created theme, Pearl of the Sea, performed at home football games and festivals amidst unprecedented circumstances, and concluded the year by performing the first annual Pride Parade in Haddon Township. Fine Arts, headed by the National Art Society, also had the opportunity to display their skills at the first ever Arts in the Stadium last month. Student athletes made the most of their opportunities when they were presented. While some may have seen the lost opportunities to win titles, HMHS student athletes did this last year from stopping making lifelong memories, representing their communities, and learning through participation in interscholastic athletic competition. During the 2021 school year, the teams won 10 conference titles, 7 sectional titles, 2 varsity teams finished their season as New Jersey State Group champions, and for the 39th year in a row, Haddonfield Memorial High School is going to be the recipient of the Colonial Conference All Sports Award, an award given to the school with the best conference win-loss record. Class of 21 has a long list of accomplishments. We must take time to reflect and applaud these. They deserve that. More importantly, let us keep it at the forefront of our minds who they are as a collective. This is a class of action. Forward thinkers who will only continue to build and grow off the solid foundations they've already developed. A group that sees, hears, understands, but most importantly, acts. This is simply the beginning for these students. They have proven themselves to possess grit and a focus to act, even in the most difficult of circumstances. Class, I cannot wait to see you accomplish in the future. I'm sure everyone else here feels the same. Haddonfield Memorial High School class of 2021, congratulations. Good luck, and we're about to continue to change the world. Graduates, it now gives me pleasure to confer upon you the diploma you have earned along with the rights and responsibilities associated with that diploma. With the power vested in me by the Haddonfield Board of Education and the state of New Jersey, I pronounce you graduates of Haddonfield Memorial High School. Will you please come forward to present the graduates?
Thank you very much, Mr. Klaus. Are we ready for some names? It is time in our program to recognize the members of the HMHS class of 2021. Our board president, Mr. Adam Sangillo, and vice president, Mr. David Seidel, will present the graduates with their diplomas. Selena Louise Chacon. Christopher Lewis DeMedio. Annabella DeFelice Lee. Charles Grayson Annunziata. Eden Carmen Kessler. Declan Cooney Malcarney. Celia Graham. Christopher James Amons. Fiona Mary Grant. Tobia Thomas Bass. Lauren Elizabeth Crumley. Carson Philip Steckline. Ella Marie Erb. Jack Gallagher Knuckles. Olivia Grace Stoner. Alexander Joseph Rafe Roseman. Alexa Catherine King. Luca James Caruso. Katrina Grace Edwards. Jesse Emmanuel Eibel Hargrove. Anna Victoria Chung. David William Chung. Erin Paige Farrell. Adam Joseph Ward. Cameron Laurel Fortunato. Preston McAllister Smith. Leanne Marie Ormley Devine. Caleb Joseph Alvarez. Lauren Ann Hitchner. Blaze Paul Driscoll. Zoe Daphne Nelson. Sean Richard Eisenhower. Dorothy Elizabeth Ware. Elijah John Fernandez. Georgia Beck Willison. Daniel Joseph Flood. Olivia Helen Willison. John Kenneth Hurley. Zoe Rebecca Wolf. John Christian McCullough. Catherine Helen Brubaker. Colin Nathaniel McIntyre. Faith Ching-I Foley. Sullivan Patrick Norton. Josephina Angelina Faust. William Thomas Police. Caitlin Elizabeth Hatch. Louis Owen Frontino. Bryn Anna Gaffney. Jacob Allen Schmidt. Emily Catherine Gaffney. Matthew Joseph Sam. Anya Lynn Lee. Kavis Basiri Trajano. Bridget Sullivan Opella. Mac Christopher Walshina. Bella Grace Regina. Ryan Thomas Angstad. Ava Collins Fitzgerald. Jacob Michael Brandenburg. Lily Christine Hanna. Sebastiano Marino Caruso. Catherine Jane Marthins. Glenn Edward Foley Jr. Kate Elizabeth Morris. Alec Wolfgang Gallwitz. Lauren Olivia Patrizzi. Max Robert Colo. Riley Ann Purdy. Mark Louis Maprosito. Sarah Solvay Bennett. David DeSellis Little. Annalise Rose Carlson. Thaddeus Ethan Fletcher Leiden Warner. Gabriella Gina Demedio. Anderson Morton McKay Levine. Carly Elizabeth Ellery. Alessandro Thomas Mayucci. Maya Jade Feinstein. Dylan John Connor. Julia Kitete Ferbienza. Christopher Paul Pearson. Morgan Rose Heberly. Jack Rowan Schwartzberg. Mary Elizabeth Herdelin. Benjamin Leo Syke. Ariana Evie Lassard. Thomas Joseph Batson. Catherine Ann McCormick. Christopher Walworth Bentley. Amanda Reese Meeker. Cooper Gaskell Bonowitz. Haley Madison Melcher. Andrew Thomas Cedar. Francis Lida Miller. Caleb James Clevenger. Sabrina Elizabeth Owens. Henry Kenneth Courtney. Catherine Joan Potts. Christopher Charles Daravo Jr. Netta Kirilova Savova. John Samuel Verner. Amelie Tiemanen. Andrew Lewis Hutchinson. Emma Grace Barson. Sean Clark Labrie. Claire Francis Desencio. Evan Santo Meserandino. Evelyn Ellis. Tate Faruya Roche. Elizabeth Ann Flanagan. Nolan Charles Stewart. Sarah Elizabeth Gilmore. Nathan Anderson Below. Abigail Grace Gramigna. Robert Everett Warner. Paige Ann Hodges. Gregory Paul Cristino. Alexandra Maria McDonald. Liam James Cronin. Kara Nicole Muller. Samuel Parker Gorlitz. Mary Catherine Rochelle. Daniel Joseph Malloy. Ava Mary Narducci. Makai Elijah Ribby. Catherine Gail Palero. John Scott Robbins, Jr. Robin Lily Rosen. Liam Michael Campilia. Leela Marie Romeo. Samuel Joseph Council III. Paige Anna Rudder. Elias Peretta Damatis. Nina Tech Allen Tan. Michael John Foley. Mia Nicasia Tarditi. Daniel Bennett Nolan. Peyton Margaret Weiner. Griffin Whalen Olympio. Maya Elliott Wico. Chad Armand Rexon. Suzanne Lorraine Beasy. Matthew Alexander Carey. Audrey Elizabeth Andrews. Nicholas George Zafirianis. Katie Lane Barrett. Quinn Patrick Boyle. Ella Emerson Baylor. Andrew Michael Carney. Jamie Elise Benton. Abdullah Khalid. Phoebe Onley Fitzmaurice Sheehan. Luke William Lajoka. Grace Ann Marino. Max Christopher Sullivan. Quinn Aaron Meath. Michael Lawrence Walsh. Karina Sage Milligan. Graham Edward Williams. Keegan Marie Douglas. Daniel Peter Cabana. Anna Elizabeth Forval. Sean Peter Gilbert. Margaret Frances Greenbaum. Dean Edward Hargrove. Isabella Rain Powers. Caden Corey Undlin. Arabella Chloe Noble. Georgia Kate Nussey. Mackenzie Kathleen Blake. Audrey Isabel Bogina. Emily Ann Smart. Grace Ellen Donch. Mia Satora Rothstein. Angelina Rose Stotak. Anna Lauren Kahn. John Thomas Keegan. Lamia Sama Karan Lopez. Justin Edward Casco. Jane Keenan Mangelli. Christopher Scott Markley, Jr. Margot Elise Masklins. John Michael McDonald. Sophie Alexandra Mulvihill. Leah Conchetta Verderame. Chloe Marie Santana. Logan Sedev. Ava Pearl Catoni. Amelia Jane Dunn. Lindsay Patricia Colflesh. Allison McKinley Colflesh. Ella Amanda Hess. Ellie Nicole McNamara. Abigail Lily Eden. Paige Julia Hine. Sarah Joy Natikia. Jenna Margaret Walls. Emma Taylor Garris. Madeline Goodrich Isner. Olivia Claire Hilgen. Mrs. Tammy McKell.
I would now like to invite Selena and Christopher to lead the class of 2021 in moving of a tassel. Everyone else can please stand. Standing to the singing of the alma mater.